This video is sponsored by G2A. Use cashback code DORON for 3% off on Warcraft products. Hello guys, this is Doronsmovies, and today I will be talking about the gnomes and how powerful they are, covering their history, characteristics, culture, and abilities. So without further ado, let's get into the lore. Thousands of years ago, the curse of flesh ravaged the Titanforged, and civil war destroyed the order from within. Tyr retreated with his followers Vrykul, surviving earthen and mecha gnomes. They wandered to the Titan Vault of Uldaman, where they had found their new home. The earthen and later the mecha gnomes went into hibernation in order to wait for the cure. Over time, they degenerated into fleshy beings, losing all sense of purpose, abandoning the vault. The first generation of gnomes ventured west, searching for a new home. As they lacked physical strength and many threats roamed around them, such as the ice trolls, they had to rely on their natural intellect, dedicating themselves to technological advancement. They would lose their titanic heritage in just a few generations, however, they would form a new society, carving out a series of highly fortified dwellings deep within the mountains of Dan Morrow. A few centuries later, the dwarves would follow the same path, and eventually they would reunite. Sensing a natural kinship, they formed a long-lasting alliance. The dwarves helped the gnomes build Gnomeregan with their knowledge of stoneworking and construction, while the gnomes taught dwarves engineering and science, introducing much-needed efficiency to Ironforge. Following this initial contact, they would largely keep to themselves in the future, but they had formed an unbreakable bond, vowing to help each other in times of need. Later on into the future, they would join the alliance with the humans and the dwarves, helping them in the Orcish wars. Their contribution was mainly to the technology and was of vital importance, as they provided the alliance with submarines, gyrocopters, and various other war machines. Now, during the Third War, they did not support the alliance, and the reason for this was because they had a cataclysm from within. Trogs invaded Gnomeregan, and as their allies were busy fighting for survival, they had to face them alone. Using toxic gas, they attempted to radiate the threat. However, due to betrayal, rather than killing them, the Trogs became enraged and more powerful, and 80% of the gnomish population was gassed. Due to this massive disaster, gnomes retreated to Ironforge, and they would do their best to recuperate their losses. They would aid the alliance in all possible events, and a few years later, they attacked Gnomeregan, looking to retake their city. The operation is still ongoing, but gnomes are a vital part of the alliance, especially in the new conflict, as they are providing their technology and war machines. So, with this very brief history, how powerful are the gnomes and what are their characteristics? Gnomes are the shortest available race, being only around 3 feet tall or about 1 meter. Just like the goblins, they possess 3 fingers and 1 thumb on each hand, but they have 5 toes on each foot. They're physically weak, but they are very agile. This makes them good warriors or rogues in a very unique sense. However, their main power is their intelligence, as they are very brilliant on average. Throughout their history, they have been a race of scholars that mainly focused on avoiding combat, which is evident with all their machinery, as they are all barriers to physical confrontation. However, due to their relationship with the dwarves, they became stronger and more comfortable with their physical prowess, which is why we have seen melee classes within their ranks. Their size, while being a massive disadvantage, is also a huge advantage at the same time, as they can be very hard to hit, while also being good at stealth and getting through small places. Regardless, they make excellent spellcasters when it comes to classes. Some of the best warlocks and mages were and are gnomes, and their natural thirst for knowledge as well as intelligence makes them powerful. When it comes to engineering, this is their main area. Much of the gnome society is formed around it, and their inventions is really what kept them alive for thousands of years. As opposed to the goblins, their machinery is very sophisticated and aesthetically designed, and they make everything from robots, weapons, factories, to the deep run tram and airplanes. When it comes to their culture, not much is known, but what we do know is that they value hierarchy and are generally in small groups that last for life and are very loyal to each other. They're almost the exact opposite to the goblins, as they care a lot for their own. They support each other and often work together. While there are greedy gnomes, on average personal gain is not their #1 priority. Gnomes are also not very religious, and even their priests refer to themselves as doctors, medics, and surgeons. Their lifespan is unknown, but we do know that adulthood is usually over the age of 22 for them, so they would probably be a bit older than humans, although they could also live for a few hundred years. Their racial mount is the Mechanostrider, and they generally prefer machinery such as helicopters as opposed to large animals. One of the most notable branches of their military are the gyrocopters, which are just crucial to the Alliance. As the gnomes lost 80% of their population in Gnomeregan, they are few in numbers, but at the same time are disproportionately important to the Alliance. Without them, the faction would be significantly behind when it comes to technological advancement. Overall, they are a titanic race of very small stature but extremely high intelligence. Their focus is on engineering as well as magic and technological progress. Gnomes have gone through a lot, from the Curse of Flesh to thousands of years of survival to the destruction of Gnomeregan and now the current war. Yet, they have prospered and are growing constantly. Gnomes, while low in numbers, are one of the most powerful races and, intelligence-wise, possibly the smartest playable race. Thank you for watching. Check out how powerful are goblins by clicking on the screen, and subscribe to the channel as it really helps out and keeps all the content going. See you next time.